now for Media Watch, and Emma James has been watching the D-Day events in Normandy throughout the day. You're going to tell us about that, but you're not going to mention the world leaders.
No, absolutely not. There's lots and lots of analysis out there about the coded and not so coded political messages that were going on at the D-Day celebrations, but my focus is well and truly on the veterans, because of course as their numbers dwindle, they become ever more important to us, those few who remain. A new British memorial was unveiled in Vers-sur-Mer, overlooking Gold Beach, where many of them among the 156,000 who landed on the beaches that day, where many of the British ones arrived. It's been created by a British sculptor called David Williams Ellis, and I think this headline from The Guardian says it all: comrades forever. And it really shows how war memorials have changed over the years, gone are the sort of blocky, very simple sculptures or squares with just the names on. It really is quite beautiful overlooking that beach there, of course,
Very
not
powerful, yeah.
beautiful on the day of June the 6th, 1944. Now, it's been a very busy itinerary. The day started in Bayeux with a ceremony for British veterans. Ken Hay, pictured here, giving a salute, was in Bayeux. It is, of course, known as the first town to be liberated after D-Day. He was just 18 when they landed on the beaches. He's 93 years old now, and he took centre stage at this service, here imparting words of wisdom into the next generation so that his experiences will be remembered even when he is gone. But he read the poem called Normandy, written by another Normandy veteran called Cyril Crane, who died a few years ago. And the words that this poem ends with are almost too poignant to bear, especially when they come from the mouth of an old soldier. Take a listen.
When my life is over and I reach the other side, I'll meet my friends from Normandy and shake their hands with pride.
And I have to
Really
say,
moving.
even more poignant for me, because I actually met Ken Hay 5 years ago. Yes.
At the last ceremony.
Absolutely. Well, it wasn't. It was actually the ceremony for a battle that came a little after D-Day. Here he is. I'm putting vanity aside. It's a terrible photograph of me.
Not at all.
But it really shows that he is just the most charming, lively, vivacious man. He was 88 here, just a few weeks off his 89th birthday. Absolutely. Yeah. And he was quite flirty and cheeky.
Yes, I was going to say, he seems to have taken to you, didn't he?
He was absolutely lovely. But this was actually a ceremony 5 years ago to mark the Battle of Hill 112, which was one of the bloodiest battles in Normandy, and it's often forgotten in the wake of D-Day, because D-Day was just the start of all this.
Right, it went on for many months, yeah.
Absolutely. This was the 10th and 11th of July, a little over a month after D-Day, and it shows as well how little progress they'd actually made, because they'd made less than a kilometre of progress for every day. And it's hard to imagine how much hard work that would have been. Now, I was at this ceremony in 2004, again at 2014, and you do have to wonder when you look back at the photos that I took then how many of these will possibly be there in a month's time. I will be going along to see them, and it's always a privilege, certainly as a reporter but as a human being too. This was the front page of La Presse de la Manche today, which is a local newspaper, and their words simply "thanks again." Now this with an image of another amazing veteran.
This was unbelievable.
97 years old, Tom Rice, was among those to be dropped behind 97, dropped behind enemy lines back in 1944. He recreated that, obviously with a little help, this time a tandem jump, as did other veterans too. There were some Brits there, 94 and 95-year-old Harry Reid and Jock Hutton, and apparently they were told that they only had a 50-50 chance of survival that time around, so I guess they figured there wasn't quite so much risk involved this time.
Slightly safer. Oh, that is really wonderful stuff. The greatest generation.
Very much so.
We have to cherish them while they're still with us. All right, well, you've got some iconic images that people have been sharing online from that day in 1944.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of news organisations sharing images, including Newsweek, saying these photos show what D-Day was like for Allied soldiers landing in Normandy. Very typical images that we've seen time and again, these black and white grainy images. On this page as well, Magnum Photos, you've got Robert Capa, the famed war photographer. But I think one that's really interesting to look at today is the work of Marina Amaral, who is a digital colourist. And she has been working on a set of D-Day photographs. She's put them on her website website today. It is well worth a look because it really brings it to life. I think having those photos in black and white.
She's coloured it in, right?
Yes, she's behind the bestseller, The Colour of Time. It's an amazing book where she's colorized very famous photos. And here you can see
hear
that's
the engines
original.
roaring, can't you?
Absolutely. That's Eisenhower briefing the paratroopers as it is originally done. And you can see when she's colorized it, suddenly the faces come to life. And it really is incredible work that she does. And it's bringing life into history. And people love her book, and her website is well worth a look.
Wow, that's incredible. They look so young, don't they, some of them?
They do.
Really, really impressive stuff. Emma, thank you so much. Emma James there.